The Nintendo Switch eShop and all other network services are being closed down in China in 2026. On March 31st, 2026, the Chinese Nintendo eShop will stop selling games and other software. After this date, all software, including paid and free titles, will no longer be available to purchase or claim. On May 15th, 2026, players will no longer be able to download titles or redeem codes. DLC will also become unavailable at this time. In China, the Nintendo Switch is sold in collaboration with Tencent, the Chinese tech giant that owns dozens of developers and other tech firms. When the Nintendo Switch first launched in China in 2020, it released with just one first-party game, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. In years since the release, older Nintendo Switch titles have been localized for the Chinese market. From November 27, 2024 until March 31st, 2026, players who own a Chinese Nintendo Switch that have an active WeChat account associated with it will receive up to 4 Switch games for free. The games they choose the games players can choose from are, and then of course here's the list of games. So not bad. It could be a little bit better, but it's not bad though. Even though I don't see Smash on here, so you can't even get a free copy of Smash Brothers. So what's going on is essentially the CCP, the people who funded the Game Awards nominated Black Myth Wukong, and I made a video about that on the second channel. They are basically going to ban online access for Nintendo consoles in China. Now, we don't exactly know the reason why they're doing this, but this has actually happened before. All right, if you remember, a couple years ago or maybe last year, it was NetEase. NetEase and Blizzard had a big blow up, and NetEase basically banned Blizzard from China, and they destroyed the Blizzard offices, and it was crazy, and of course, right around that time, NetEase also kind of, was developing Marvel Rivals, which is basically Overwatch with a Marvel, paint job on it. So you see what's going on there. But yeah, essentially what it is most tech companies have to work with a Chinese tech company in order to sell products in China. So that could be NetEase, that could be Tencent, that could be any other Chinese big tech firm, because the government has direct influence over those companies. So if you have to work with those companies, then technically you have to work with the government in order to sell things in China. And now the government and the company have unilateral powers when it comes to making deals and asking for money and things like that from the companies that have to work with them. And I wouldn't be surprised if Tencent, wanted a bigger cut of, say, the sales from online purchases on Nintendo consoles. Nintendo said no, and thus they decided to shut down these Nintendo services. If you don't want to give us more money, if you don't want to let us extort you, then you can't provide your services to your customers in China. Now, of course, another thing is maybe there's going to be a big change to Nintendo Switch Online, because we do know by 2026 the Switch 2 will be out. So maybe a new Nintendo Switch Online will replace that. And maybe Nintendo is going to do a different deal. Maybe they have to do a new deal for this new service. Or maybe Nintendo will be switching companies. Maybe Nintendo is not going to work with Tencent anymore. Maybe they're going to work with NetEase. That's a possibility. Even though after the NetEase Blizzard situation, I wouldn't want to mess with them. But yeah, so it looks like China is just going to be China.